Welcome everyone to the next episode of Sniper Talk. This is Mel at Sniper Central, and what we're going to do today is we wanted to show you one of the rifles out of the Sniper Central collection. What I have in front of me is an original M1D Garand. This is the sniper version of the M1 rifle. It was developed during World War II as the M1 Garand became the standard issue the standard issue rifle, as that was a part of the U.S. military. Well, they wanted a sniper version of it. Unfortunately, the development through the war took longer than they anticipated, and by the time the M1Cs and the M1Ds made it into the arsenals at the U.S. Army, it was kind of too late, and very few of them actually saw combat in World War II. But the rifles did end up being used in the Korea War, and actually in the very intro phases of Vietnam they were used as well. And so what you have is a typical M1 Garand, but if you know much about M1s, you will know that the actual magazine or the stripper clips and so forth will eject out of the top of the action as well as the brass. And so in order to make these rifles work with a scope, this scope is actually offset to one side of the rifle, which you can see there. The scope is off to the side, and that actually required that the cheek piece as well had to be offset in order to set the eye to make it in alignment with the actual scope. The scope itself is a M84 scope. It's an interesting fixed power scope. It actually has a BDC knob, bullet drop compensator, underneath these swivel up caps on it. And then it's actually calibrated out to 900 yards. A few of the other changes, you'll notice that the muzzle flash hider is a part of it. This is the cone shaped. It's kind of unique to the M1 sniper rifles. Like I said, there's the M1Cs and Ds. They made a lot fewer of the Cs. The Ds had some other changes made to them and was the rifle that they built the most of. And that's what this one is. And this one became a part of our collection. It is a rifle that came straight from the armory. As far as we can tell, since it was refurbished, or I'm not even sure if it was refurbished, since it was packaged away, it has not been fired. And so I don't think that we'll be firing this one. It's in pristine condition. Everything, we have all of the documentation that comes with it. The rifle, this one's a Springfield Armory rifle. It has a serial number on the back, just like every other M1. And the scopes actually have serial numbers as well. This is pretty much how they came. These rifles were not really that effective from what we've heard. I've fired an M1C, I believe it was, before when I was in the Army, and you know, they were adequate probably for what they were intended to do back in World War II. Obviously not up to the accuracy standards of today's rifles. Chambered 30-06, as was the standard issue cartridge at the time. Just a neat piece of history, especially to have one in this good a condition. It's just a beautiful, beautiful rifle, and we're proud to be able to call it a part of our collection here.